Do you feel left out? Do your partner, friends, or co-workers disrespect you? I understand you. I went through the same thing as you. I felt out of place in my work. I couldn't find a way out and no one respected me. But that changed. I used 12 psychological tips and added them with Stoic knowledge, and finally, everything improved. I not only achieved respect, but also admiration. I discovered that I was not respected because I was not qualified, but because I myself allowed myself not to be respected. So if you are one of those who go to a place and feel that you do not belong to that place, that no one pays attention to you, that your word is not important, that no one listens to you, that even in your own family they ignore you, you are always the last, no one takes your opinion into account, or even in your work environment, you go unnoticed, you've come to the right video. Today, basically, you are a zero to the left, but tomorrow, as soon as you start practicing these tips, I assure you that you will notice the change. But before you start, you can help more people like you. Just like the video, subscribe to the channel or share it with other people. Okay, now without further ado, let's get started. Strategy number 1, consider yourself important. I don't mean this in the sense of being arrogant or self-centered, but of recognizing your value as a human being and your ability to contribute to the common good. Analyze this psychological advice from a Stoic perspective, and you will see that it is not a contradiction, but a way of living in harmony with nature and with yourself. The Stoics teach us that we must act according to our reason, following the virtues of wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. These virtues allow us to develop our potential and fulfill our moral duty without being carried away by irrational passions or external desires. In doing so, we become important people, not to the world, but to ourselves. As Marcus Aurelius said, do not worry about what others think of you, but about what you think of yourself. Self-esteem is the valuation we have of ourselves, our abilities, and achievements. Having good self-esteem helps us face life's challenges with confidence, optimism, and resilience. Therefore, it is important that you consider yourself important, that you recognize your worth and your potential. To improve your self-esteem, you can follow this psychological advice. Analyze your strengths and weaknesses and work on them. Don't compare yourself to others, but to your own previous version. Celebrate your successes, no matter how small, and learn from your mistakes without punishing or blaming yourself. Seek support from people who love and value you, and avoid toxic or harmful relationships. Take care of your physical and mental health by exercising, sleeping well, and practicing relaxation or meditation. And above all, be kind to yourself, respect yourself, and love yourself. After analyzing everything you can offer society and your own life, go to the street and imagine that you are famous. You'll see that everyone starts looking at you. Go to a busy street and imagine that you are nobody. You will see how people even hit you when you walk down the street because they have not even realized that you were there. These are principles that work. You'll tell me, strategy number 2. Learn to differentiate kindness from condescension. Kindness is a quality that involves respect, consideration, and empathy toward others without expecting anything in return. Condescension, on the other hand, is an attitude of superiority or false modesty that seeks to manipulate or humiliate others, making them feel inferior or dependent. Yes, it's very important to be respected, and we need to understand the difference between being kind and being obligated to please. It's one thing to try to be as kind to others as possible, courteous and caring, and it is quite another to obsess over pleasing others at all times. An attitude that is not far from submission. The autonomy of each individual allows them to choose when and how to help others. From a Stoic perspective, kindness is a way of practicing justice, which is one of the 4 cardinal virtues of Stoicism, along with wisdom, courage, and temperance. Justice implies acting in accordance with reason and nature, respecting the rights and duties of every human being. Condescension, on the other hand, is a way of falling into passion, which is one of the four sources of unhappiness for the Stoics, along with error, vice, and evil. Passion involves acting on irrational and selfish impulses, disregarding the dignity and freedom of every human being. A Stoic philosopher who spoke about kindness and condescension was Marcus Aurelius. In one of his reflections, he wrote, "When you feel irritated by someone's behavior, ask yourself, why does it bother me? What is it about me that is offended by this? What can I learn from this situation? How can I help this person get better?" This way you will practice kindness and avoid condescension. Strategy number 3, it takes up more space. One way to project confidence and security is to take up more space with your body. This doesn't mean you should make exaggerated movements or distract others. It is enough to do things as basic as sitting in a way that you take advantage of all the space in your seat. The intent is not to invade someone else's territory. The purpose is to communicate that you're not afraid to be noticed. This is known as body language, which is a form of non-verbal communication that can influence the perception that others have of us. Therefore, it is important to use it to our advantage to get noticed and convey confidence, security, and professionalism. But what can you do? Well, mainly maintain an upright and aligned posture without hunching your shoulders or back. This projects an image of authority and respect. She also smiles naturally and sincerely without forcing or exaggerating. This expresses sympathy and cordiality, as well as improving your mood and that of others. It is important to use appropriate gestures that are consistent with your message without abusing or limiting them. This strengthens your communication and facilitates understanding, as well as avoiding ambiguities and misunderstandings. And control the pitch and volume of your voice without shouting or whispering. This modulates your expression and conveys confidence, as well as adapting to the context and the audience. Using body language to your advantage results in Stoicism as a source of disturbance or harmony, depending on how we interpret and apply it. However, the Stoics also recognize that body language can be useful in conveying positive messages, such as trust, friendship, or compassion. For example, in the book The Enchiridion by Epictetus, it is recommended to pause and take a deep breath before speaking, not only to avoid impulsive reactions and speak correctly, but also to give a message to those who observe us, there telling us that we are intelligent and resilient people. Strategy number 4, don't react too quickly. The previous tip indicated something important that you demonstrate with your body language, and that is your way of facing situations with a simple pause, primordial pause. A pause that takes us away from an impulsive facet that we do not want to give to people. Or do you want to respect impulsive people? Don't react too quickly. This is a golden rule to maintain emotional balance and serenity in the face of the situations that life throws at us. When we react impulsively, without reflecting, we can fall into errors of judgment, irrational attitudes, or unnecessary conflicts. The most confident people keep their own times and don't let the surroundings control them. React to your time, have controlled movements, and they will respect you more. Psychology teaches us that emotions are automatic and involuntary responses that are activated to certain stimuli. However, not all emotions are adequate or proportional to reality. But in this instance, Stoic power and wisdom helps us with this advice in every way. Since the sages of Stoicism indicated that this philosophy consists in living according to nature, that is, to reason and virtue. To do this, we must distinguish between what is in our power and what is not, and act only on the former without allowing ourselves to be disturbed by the latter. This way, we avoid suffering from things we can't change and focus on what we can improve. What better way to avoid being impulsive than to bring out our Stoic nature? Marcus Aurelius says, "Do not rush into your actions or be confused with your thoughts. Do not be agitated or restless. Keep your soul calm and watch everything unfold around you." If we follow this advice, we will be able to earn the respect of others and ourselves. Strategy number 5. Take several deep breaths. What advice can I give you to not react quickly and look impulsive? Take several deep breaths. This is a trick that seems very simple, but it will help you tremendously to focus your energy and focus on what you want to do and say. Taking several deep breaths is a technique that can help you calm down and control your emotions. This is important if you want to be respected by others, as it allows you to act rationally and with dignity, without being carried away by anger, fear, or pride. From a Stoic and psychological approach, being respected implies being consistent with your principles, being honest with yourself and others, and accepting what you cannot change. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It is not up to us to be rich, but it is up to us to be happy." Thus, respect is not based on what you have or what you appear, but on what you are and what you do. If you stay calm, centered and focused on your actions and words, it will help you ask for the respect you deserve from others. Respected people know how to stay calm in tense conditions. Strategy number 6. Try not to be interrupted. I know that right now you must be sure that it is polite to let people talk, even when they interrupt you in the middle of a sentence. But when you let someone walk over you and shut you up, you convey the idea that that person's opinion is more important than yours. Do you think that person respects you? Not really. So try not to be interrupted. It is a tip that can help you improve your self-esteem and your authority, both personally and professionally. From a psychological standpoint, when you allow yourself to be constantly interrupted, you're sending the message that your opinion isn't important, that you don't have confidence in yourself, and that you accept being treated with disrespect by others. This can negatively affect your self-concept, performance, and relationships. From a Stoic point of view, when you are interrupted, you are losing control over your speech and your emotions. The Stoics defended that the only thing we can control are our own thoughts and actions, and that we must accept with serenity what does not depend on us. However, this does not mean that we should be passive or conformist, but that we should act with virtue and coherence, seeking the common good and wisdom. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Do not be carried away by external impression. Judge for yourself everything that comes before you." It is possible to do it if you get used to not rushing and not letting yourself be carried away by appearances. I don't want you to raise your voice or have to go out of your mind. Always maintain a resilient attitude, but without hesitating or allowing other people to silence you. Strategy number 7. Use a light shade. Don't hesitate. Use this tip that goes hand in hand with the previous one. They won't interrupt you this way. This advice implies that we must communicate clearly and confidently, leaving no room for doubt or ambiguity. From a psychological standpoint, this can help us project an image of security and authority, which can build respect and credibility in others. From a Stoic point of view, this can reflect an attitude of consistency and honesty, which can strengthen our virtue and tranquility. One Stoic philosopher who spoke about the importance of clarity in language was Epictetus, who said, "Say no more than is necessary, but say what is enough." Strategy number 8. Look into the eyes. We could say that this is an aspect of body language that gives us respect. However, I see it as necessary to dedicate a line to this advice, and it is of utmost importance to establish good communication, to look into each other's eyes. This is a piece of advice that is often given to improve communication and mutual respect. But what is behind this gesture? What does psychology and Stoic philosophy tell us about this? From a psychological perspective, looking into the eyes conveys confidence, security, and honesty. He also shows interest and attention to what the other person says. These qualities are important for establishing a good relationship with others and making a positive impression. From a Stoic perspective, looking into the eyes also implies an exercise in self-control, mastery of one's own emotions, and acceptance of reality. Looking into each other's eyes is a way of assuming our responsibility and our freedom, of recognizing the other as an equal, and of establishing respect. An important tip is that when you are in a conversation with several people, Take about 2 to 3 seconds to look at each one. If you're talking, try to switch your gaze between each one. That will make everyone feel part of it and stay focused on your story. You will earn the respect and attention of the group. Strategy number 9. You have to be punctual. You don't have to be one of the first to arrive at an appointment. Be the first. Would you respect someone who doesn't respect your time? Clearly the answer is no. The golden rule of Jesus of Nazareth in the Bible is, treat others as you would like to be treated. Do you like to be respected, so what should you do? Exactly, giving respect. What would be a lack of respect? Arriving late. Don't doubt that. Punctuality implies valuing one's own time and that of others, and avoiding causing unnecessary inconvenience or delays. From a psychological point of view, punctuality reflects a responsible, organized, and committed attitude to the tasks that are performed. From a Stoic point of view, punctuality is a virtue that helps us to live in harmony with nature and reason. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "It's not that we have little time, but that we lose a lot." Therefore, being punctual is a way to make the most of the time we have and not waste it on vain or superfluous things. Strategy number 10. Improve your first impression. The first impression we make on others is very important, as it can determine the success or failure of our personal and professional relationships. To improve your first impression, you should keep in mind some tips based on psychology and Stoicism, which will help you to be respected and admired by others. First step, be authentic and consistent. Don't pretend to be someone you're not, or change your ways based on the situation or the person you're dealing with. Authenticity generates trust and respect, while falsehood and inconsistency provoke rejection and distrust. As Epictetus said, do not seek to have events happen as you want them to happen, but desire them to happen as they happen, and your life will flow well. Step 2. Be kind and courteous. Treat others with politeness and consideration, regardless of their position or status. Avoid criticism, judgment, teasing, or negative comments. Marcus Aurelius advises, wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for goodness. And third step, be confident and secure. Project an image of confidence and self-assurance without falling into arrogance or arrogance. Maintain an upright posture, a firm gaze, a clear voice, and a serene gesture. Seneca says, "No wind is favorable to one who does not know where he is going." People evaluate after approximately the first 5 minutes of having seen you. Always practice good hygiene and make sure your clothes are tidy and clean. Don't hide, have presence, be proud of your appearance. If you don't respect yourself and your appearance, it will be very difficult to earn the respect of other people. Strategy number 11. Think what people think. Don't give orders. No, you can't really earn anyone's respect if you spend your time ordering others, wanting to go over everyone's head, even if you have the power or position to do so. They will follow your orders, of course, but you will never have their respect. Giving direct orders is the worst strategy to get them to obey you. In fact, great leaders don't give orders. They give freedom. They suggest and give freedom, even at the risk of the other person making a mistake. To be respected, it is necessary to have an attitude of openness and humility towards others, recognizing that one does not have the absolute truth and that one can learn from different perspectives. From a psychological point of view, this attitude favors empathy, effective communication, and the development of positive relationships, which in turn generates trust and respect. From a Stoic point of view, this attitude reflects the principle of living according to nature, that is, accepting things as they are and not as we want them to be, and focusing on what is under our control and not on what depends on others. Epictetus said, "Do not expect things to happen as you wish. Desire rather that they should occur as they occur, and you will be happy." Strategy number 12. Give your opinion about things without fear of what others will think. There is nothing that is more striking, more magnetic, more attractive than a person with an impressive personality. Giving your opinion about things without fear of what others will think can be useful advice to be respected as long as it is done with honesty, coherence, and respect. Expressing your opinion can help you build your self-esteem, communicate better with others, and avoid resentment or frustration. They will respect you because they will think that you have presence and personality. You will be the one who gives opinions, guides, advises, entertains. You will motivate everyone with your ideas and inspire everyone with your thoughts. What could be more attractive and respectable than that? From a Stoic point of view, giving your opinion can be a way of practicing virtue, which is the only good for human beings, and of accepting with equanimity the consequences of your words, which are external and indifferent things. Epictetus said, "Don't worry about what people think of you. They're busy worrying about what you think of them." Follow these tips and I assure you that you will be respected, you will master your emotions in a short time, and thus you will also achieve inner peace. For more tips like this, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to be informed when I upload more illuminating videos like this one. Now remember that this is not a goodbye, it is a see you later.